Hey, what's up? It's Nathan Williams with Crazy Marketing. Now this video right here is a compilation of several videos that help make up the course that you're taking right now. Now to help you navigate through everything, I've provided timestamps down below in the description, so I recommend going, check out those timestamps, watching what's relevant to you. Let's get into it. Alright, so this is the fun section of the course when we actually go ahead and create a campaign. Now to break down this section, I broke it into 6 steps essentially, so that way we can kind of map out where we're going and what we're going to do. So that's what this video is, just an overview video of what we're going to cover in this section. So first things first, we're going to talk about mapping your ad funnel. Basically, it's the steps people are going to go through to convert from cold traffic to buyer to repeat buyer, etc. So we're going to do that. Then you might need to generate content for your funnel. So we have some training on generating content, and you might already have plenty of content. You might not need to do this. I know a lot of businesses that have been around for a while, they already have a ton of content that they can repurpose and use. So more than likely, you probably already have enough content to get you started, but you also might need to generate some more and give you a few tips in this section. Then we talk about the different audiences that you're going to send through your funnel and how you're going to sequence those audiences. So like what days are people going to see which ads and so on. So we'll talk all about that. And if audiences and sequencing doesn't make sense at this point in time, don't worry. When we talk about mapping your funnel, it's going to all click in your mind. Then of course you got to go ahead and create ads. I already had a training on ads and kind of ad content, but I'll throw a little bit more in there just to give you some more ideas. And then of course you got to go ahead and launch your campaign, get it out there into the world, start generating some results, some data, some information. And then of course you need to go ahead and test and tweak. Now some people prefer to do a little bit of testing ahead of time. Like if you've never run Facebook ads before, or you've never tested an offer or like a lead magnet or content, if you never tested anything before, you might want to do some testing first. It depends kind of on your personality. Like if you're just launch a dang thing and test and tweak like along the way, that's the type of person I am. I'd rather build it, get it out, test and tweak as like stuff is happening. But if you want to test things first, I know some people like to test things first, you can definitely go ahead and watch those videos, learn about testing and making sure your content works, your offers work, etc. before you go and you build your campaign. So, there's 2 ways to do it. And if you're more of a cautious person, go ahead, watch all the training in this section. Just watch it, don't take any action. And then go watch the testing and tweaking. And then you can kind of wrap your head around what you want to do first. And if you're a go-getter and you just want to get the dang thing launched, then you could go ahead and kind of follow along and do some of these steps along with me. And after everything's launched and you got traffic going, then you go ahead and test and tweak. So 2 different methodologies, whatever is more comfortable for you, do that. Anyway, that is the outline for this section. Let's get into it. Hey, I hope you're enjoying the training. Real quick, I have a special offer that I want to present to you where you can get a digital copy of my book as well as an audio copy. Plus, I'm giving away 28 pre-written emails that make your email writing a piece of cake. And finally, I have a 7-figure funnel. It's the first funnel that I built that generated over 7 figures for a small business, and it includes training on how to actually set up the funnel. If you're interested in that, plus several other bonuses, link in the description down below, or there'll be a link in the little box up above here. So if you're interested, check it out. Back to the training. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and talk about planning out your campaign, but before we get into it, I got to cover a few things with you. First and foremost, a lot of people complicate marketing. Marketing is not that complicated of a thing, and I'm about to show you, and it's something that you need to keep in mind as you're building out your campaigns. This stuff is not that complicated. You got to think of this bigger picture. If you get the big picture and you apply it to your marketing, you're going to be fine, okay? A lot of people skip it though. They just go straight from ad to sell and this doesn't work and oh my gosh. Don't do that, okay? Just listen, please, and you'll understand. As long as you understand this, you're going to be okay. All right, sorry, I'll get off my soapbox now. All right, so when you're planning your campaign, you need to think about how your customer discovers things, right? And then think about how you actually discover things. So you hear mention of a product or a business or a topic, you hear mention of something, right? A friend tells you, a podcaster tells you, a website tells you, an ad tells you, somewhere you hear about something. And then you're like, that sounds interesting. and then you either research it, you go to Google, look it up, or YouTube, you go try and learn more about it, or sometimes ads pop up and you're like, hey, I just was looking at that sounded cool, let me look at it some more, and so on, right? So that's how the world figures things out. You hear about something, you look at it, you look a little more, and then maybe you take some action, you buy something. That's marketing, right? That's how people buy things, that's how people progress in life. Hear about something, learn a little bit more, take action. Remember those 3 things, okay? It's that simple. Now, your plan with marketing, though, or your goal with marketing, is to kind of manufacture that process, right? So you're the one out there informing people. You're the one telling people about your product, your service, your offers, or other topics that are of interest to your audience, right? You're the one kind of forcing that relationship, but you're doing it in a proper way. Like, hey, I saw this, check this out, this is really cool. Make it natural. And then as they start showing interest in it, you kind of move them along, right? You get them to sign up for an email list or a webinar or something like that, kind of a low barrier entry into your world, right? And then you can slowly start to make offers to them. And then you continue being cool, right? You keep helping them out, you keep showing them cool stuff, and then you make some offers to them. And so that is the big picture strategy. You show people cool stuff, show them more cool stuff, make some offers, and boom, there you go. All right, now before we get into this diagram, let me go over the levels of traffic real quick. So there's 3 levels of traffic. We have cold traffic. These are people that don't know who you are. So they never heard of you, never heard of your business, never heard of your products, don't know anything about you. Then we got warm traffic. They know who you are. So they might have watched a video. They might have engaged with you on Facebook. They might have visited your website. They might have came to your store. They know who you are, but they have not entered or joined a list. So they're not on your email list or your Facebook Messenger list. So you can't contact them, right? They're the ones doing the contacting. You can't contact them at this point, and they're not a buyer. Okay, so that's your warm traffic. Know who you are, but have not taken that step to where you can contact them. And then we have hot audiences, and these are people that are on a list, so you can reach out and contact them, or they're a buyer, in which case you have all sorts of information on them. And hopefully they're a happy buyer and wanting to buy more from you. So anyway, those are the 3 levels of traffic. Now, of course, there's lukewarm, medium warm, super warm, ultra hot, etc. So you could get to more levels if you want to, but let's just keep it simple with 3. And now we can come down to this diagram. And this diagram, the purpose of it is to illustrate essentially how all marketing campaigns operate. And they follow what I broke down up here, where you show people cool stuff, more cool stuff, and make offers to them. So you can essentially apply this framework to all business models, for digital products, for physical products, for e-commerce, for coaches, consultants, services, you name it, the same concepts apply. So the first thing we need to do in our little funnel or campaign is we need to convert this cold traffic, people who don't know who you are, into warm traffic, right? That's our goal. And to do that, we want to go ahead and target a large audience. So, millions of people, or the largest audience of people practical. If you're in a really small niche, then your audience is only as large as your audience is. And that's okay, we can work with that. But you want to go for the largest audience possible for your niche. And typically we're going to do CBO, campaign budget optimization, for this cold traffic. And I'll get more into that as we set things up. But what we want to do with this cold traffic, right, is send them to content. So this could be blog posts, downloadable files, videos, post engagement, etc. Cool, helpful things people want to see. And it introduces people to you, your product, your business, etc. So of course, once this cold traffic knows who you are, they're now warm traffic. And we're going to be retargeting those people. And we're going to be trying to bring them to a lead magnet of some sort. And a lead magnet is just a freebie, like a guide, a checklist, a coupon, webinar, etc., where they enter their contact information, name, email, phone number maybe, in exchange for whatever it is you promised them. And of course, the purpose here is to get them on that list so you can go ahead and be the one that does the outreach to them as well. Basically starting that two-way conversation. Now, simultaneously, we'll probably want to send some cold traffic straight to your lead magnet. Some people won't be interested in your content over here, but they might be interested in the lead magnet you're offering. So we don't want to miss out on anybody that wants to go straight from cold traffic into essentially hot traffic, because they're going in here, opting in, and they're on your list, and they're essentially hot traffic. So we don't want to miss out on people that want to skip over the whole warm traffic process if we don't need to. And then we get over to your hot traffic, and again, these are people that are on your list or are buyers, and we're gonna go ahead and make offers to these people as what we have illustrated over here. And simultaneously, we'll be taking some of this warm traffic over here, and instead of sending them to the lead magnet, we'll probably just promote offers to them. Maybe they don't want your lead magnet, but they want to buy what you have to offer, right? Similar to the cold traffic that's going straight to your lead magnet. And in all reality, you might even take some of your cold traffic and send it straight over to an offer as well. So that way, if they don't want your content, they don't want your lead magnet, but maybe they still want what you have to sell. And so that is the general concept behind these campaigns. You introduce people to cool stuff, you get them on a list, and then you sell them stuff. While of course keeping it natural and fun and cool the whole time. Alright, so this video kind of ties in with the last one where we talked about planning your campaign. In this video, we're going to talk about mapping your campaign, which is kind of similar, but when I'm talking about mapping your campaign, I'm talking about mapping it to your business, your products, your offers, your content, etc. So I'm going to give you a couple examples of like common frameworks, and you can hopefully mold them and adapt them to your business model. So that's kind of the idea here. And basically the way you're going to map out your campaign is you're going to figure out what the main offer is that you want to go ahead and sell. So whatever product or service it is that you're trying to sell, that's your main core offer, right? It could be a course, could be physical product, could be a service, etc. Then you need to think to yourself, what are the steps to sell that offer? So basically, what does somebody have to go through in order to want to buy what it is you're selling? So this could be like, what type of content should they consume? Like, what should it be about? Like, if I'm trying to sell a Facebook ads course, then I probably should have some Facebook ads content to show to people ahead of time, right? Show them that I know what it is I'm talking about, provide value, help them out, things like that, right? If I had an e-commerce store that sold camping products, maybe I have articles on camping, hiking, outdoors stuff, right? Stuff that people would want to consume and be like, hey, this company, they know what they're talking about. They've helped me out. Let's see what they have to sell, right? So that's what I mean right here is figure out what it is you want to sell, and then what are the steps somebody needs to take in order to want to buy that thing you're selling. And then you could take it one more level further. So what are the steps to take those steps? So what are the steps to get somebody to consume something? Or what are the steps somebody needs to take in order to want to opt in for something? So maybe I have this really super awesome lead magnet that I know converts people. Once they see it, once they understand it, once they have it in their hands, they're like, this thing is freaking awesome. I want everything this company has. The thing is, I need to get that lead magnet in their hands. So what is the steps I need in order to get that in their hands? And I got to figure out some content, basically, that really boost this lead magnet so that they get it in their hands, because that thing sells everything else. And so that's what I'm talking about up here. And these are things that you really have to consider moving forward. All right, so basically the quote-unquote regular funnel for physical and digital products. So this is like your typical, sales funnel concept here. What you want to do, again, is cold traffic to content, warm it up, you know that already. And then you got your warm traffic, you're going to try and convert it into a lead, so get them on a list of some sort. And then you got your hot traffic, and you're going to try and sell them your products and courses and all that other stuff, right? So this goes back to the other model we just talked about. So same exact concept here as like with any normal, regular, quote-unquote funnel where you're selling like a product or a service or something like that, right? So same flow. Warm the traffic up, sell them stuff. Now, also note, of course, even when you have this hot traffic, these hot people, these people on your list, these buyers, you don't just bombard them with offers, right? You still got to be cool. You still got to show them cool stuff, give them cool stuff, things like that, right? You still got to be a good person, good business and everything. Like, I'm not saying just smack them with offer after offer after offer because they're hot, right? You still got to be cool and maintain that relationship. So hopefully that was a given, but I thought I should say that because I don't want to confuse anyone thinking you just sell to these people. Still treat them good, but you can be a little more promotional and things of that nature to these folks compared to, this cold traffic who has no idea who you are. So moving on down here, we have like the high ticket funnel. And so same type of concept, right? Still flow, cold, warm, hot, etc. So here you're going to take your cold traffic and send them to content, and it might be like low barrier to entry content. So something that's like native to the platform. So like a Facebook post that's engaging, or a Facebook video, where they don't have to leave Facebook is what I'm saying. So they're just browsing Facebook. They see your content on Facebook. They don't have to click on anything. They don't have to do anything special. They just look at it, observe it, take it in, right? So nice, low barrier content, warms them up. And then once they're warm, they've seen who you are, then you can start sending them to more content, right? You got to build that relationship because you're selling a high ticket item, high ticket product or service or whatever, something expensive, a couple $1,000s maybe. You got to build that relationship. You got to warm them up. So you got this easy content, and then you got content that's like maybe a blog post or downloadable. So they got to click on something. They got to click on your ad. They got to go to your page. They got to check things out. They got to do a little more, right? They put a little more effort into it. Of course, the content might be a little more thorough and all that other stuff, building that connection, helping them out, building that relationship, etc. And then the next step, of course, then would be to go into lead magnets and trying to get them on a list. Now, your content, of course, could promote those lead magnets, try and get them to opt in from reading a blog post. And then it's like, hey, if you want more, check out this lead magnet over here, right? So the content's kind of pushing the lead magnets. But then once they've seen this content, they've engaged with it, then you can go ahead and start promoting like a lead magnet to that warm traffic because they've been through a couple layers of content. They went through the easy stuff, now they've had to click and engage, and now they're going to opt in. And then you can go ahead and start trying to engage with them to sell them whatever it is you're trying to sell. And of course, if you have multiple offers, you can sell those multiple offers, right? So that's like the flow, kind of a high ticket sales funnel. Basically, instead of just like one piece of content to a lead magnet, you got a couple, and you got to warm them up, build that relationship, right? Makes sense, logical. None of this should be mind blowing. It should be very duh, and hopefully you understand it. But it's important, and a lot of people overlook how simple this is. All right, and then our next example is an e-commerce store. I know a lot of folks have e-commerce stores, so I thought I'd throw this in here. Again, cold, warm, hot, same concept. Basically, you're taking that cold traffic that doesn't know anything about you, giving them some content. Maybe it's Facebook video, maybe it's an article on your website, something like that. Same concept, right? And that content will probably bring them over to different products that you guys sell, right? Simultaneously, you probably got some cold traffic going straight into your sales pages, and you might be using dynamic product ads to do that. So very cool. And then, of course, if you got cold traffic and you warmed it up, well, then you're probably going to send it to sales pages, and you probably want to use dynamic product ads or something similar. And you also might want to take some of your warm traffic and send them over to a coupon or a promotion. So basically, if they've looked at your sales pages and everything but haven't purchased anything, well, then maybe you need to offer them a coupon or a promotion or something like that, right? So get them interested, get them on your list. And then, of course, now they're hot traffic. And with your hot traffic, you're probably bringing them to sales pages using dynamic product ads, trying to sell stuff, right? And so there you go. There's essentially 3 maps right there that you could go ahead and use to apply to, I think, pretty much any type of business model. And they're all the same concept, right? Cold, warm, hot. Cold, warm, hot. Cold, warm, hot. Very simple stuff, and I'm sure you're getting the concept. So let's go to the next video. In this video, we're going to go ahead and discuss the content development right here, which is that first step in the funnel, and it takes your cold traffic and kind of warms them up to you, your business, and what you have to offer. To start, you need 1 to 5 pieces of content, preferably 3. And that's because it lets you approach your audience from different angles, and you can also retarget the different pieces of content that you have. And by doing this, you basically become a know-it-all within your niche, and I mean that in a good way. Basically, you're positioning yourself as an authority. Now, if you're in a rush or something like that, you could just use 1 piece of content to get you started. And if it's an excellent piece of content, it might be all you really need. But by having 3 to 5 pieces of content, you kind of diversify your portfolio, and more than likely it'll help you attract even more leads and customers. And this content should be articles and or videos, and you can do both. You can take the video content and make it an article, and vice versa. You can take the article and turn it into a video. And of course, the articles are going to be on your website, and I'll show you how to set that up in one of these following videos. And then your videos can go directly onto Facebook itself. By doing this, you get a lot of options for retargeting. Like, you can retarget people based off of how much of your video that somebody watches. which winds up becoming very, very powerful. And it can all be done right there on Facebook, so you're not dependent upon somebody clicking off of Facebook to go to your website to watch your video and then to request your lead magnet and all that type of stuff. So videos are very powerful, and I highly recommend using them if you can. So here are some of the types of content that can work very well here. You got your how-to articles or videos, tips, tricks, hacks, etc. Basically quick wins. You want to get people results in advance. So basically, if you give somebody a tip that saves them money or makes their life better, and you do that for free, well, they're going to be like, ooh, I want some more of those results. How do I get more of those results? I need to follow this guy or gal or this business and get in touch with them because they produce results. But the content could also be something like an interesting fact list or a listicle. So, you know, your top 5 reasons to do X, Y, or Z, or just a list of interesting facts that people within your niche would want to hear or need to know. And ideally, you want this content to be 3 to 5 minutes in length, whether it's a 3 to 5 minute video or it takes 3 to 5 minutes to read the article. So that's a typical good length to go for. However, I've also seen really long videos like 45 minutes and beyond, and really long articles like 8,000 words and beyond also do well. But of course, I mean, that takes a lot of time to produce and create, while a 3 to 5 minute piece of content can also produce insane results. And pretty much you're trying to make viral type content. And now I don't mean viral as in 8 million people are going to see this video or your blog post, but I mean everybody in your niche is going to see your content. And it's going to be highly relevant to them. So your content here has to be good. It has to be share-worthy, likable, interesting, all that type of stuff. And you're not going to be able to cheat the system by using some cheap quality content. This has to be high quality material. I mean, ultimately, it represents you and your business, so take the time and put in the work to create some unique, really high quality pieces of content. And also within your content, you'll want to include CTAs or calls to action to request your lead magnet and or schedule a strategy call. So that way you're kind of pushing people along through the funnel. And with your articles, you can put the CTAs throughout the article just by including links to the lead magnet. And I'll show you an example of this when we're building our funnel out. And with video content, you want to place the CTA at the end of the video and or in the description. So here are just a few examples for content that I could create for my sales funnel service. So I have 3 different tools. I have Facebook ads, ClickFunnels, and ActiveCampaign. So I can make 3 different pieces of content that focus on those 3 tools. So the first one, Facebook ads. I could create an article and or a video, 3 simple ways to decrease CPA or cost per action within Facebook ads in only 5 minutes. ClickFunnels, I could create a video and or article that shows the 3 core funnels every business needs to multiply revenue automatically. And then with ActiveCampaign, I could offer my top converting autoresponder series and show people how to configure it for their business in less than 20 minutes. So right there we have 3 different pieces of content that are highly relevant to my core offer and that my target audience will likely find interesting. And here's an example of video content that's hosted on Facebook. And we have a description here. Have you heard of the ketogenic diet? Here are 5 things you need to know about it. This video right here lists out the 5 things you need to know about the ketogenic diet. And then we have a CTA, call to action. Want more? Get Dr. Osborne's book at this website right here. So somebody goes to that website to get a copy of his book. And you can tell it's doing well. It's got 110,000 views, 995 reactions, 428 shares. So people are sharing it. There's 118 comments. So this is just a good front end piece of content where he's trying to reach people interested in the ketogenic diet and then pull them into getting his book. And so that's really it for the content development. Make sure that you're producing high quality pieces of content that your audience will want to see. And remember, this is the face of your business. So you need to come ready to impress people and really put it all out there. Alright, in this video I want to talk a little bit more about planning / mapping out your campaign, but also we're going to start throwing in some audience stuff in here so you can kind of start thinking and planning out your various audiences that you're going to have with your campaign. So here we are with our high ticket funnel. We'll start off with the high ticket funnel, and I probably don't need to say physical and digital products. We'll say high ticket funnel. So starting off, of course, we want to go with cold traffic. We've talked about this a bunch of different times, and likely you'll want maybe 2 or 3 different audience sources of cold traffic. So the first one could be lookalike customers, so people that look like people that have already bought the product or service that you're selling, right? That's a very good audience to have, is a lookalike audience. Or if you don't have enough customer data yet, maybe you have leads. So lookalike of leads, or lookalike of an email list, or lookalike of website visitors, or whatever audience you can get that's as close down to buying as you can possibly get. You probably want to do a lookalike audience of those people. Next, you might do a narrow interest audience. So that's where you go ahead and like stack those interests. I had a video of it previously in the ad set section where we stacked interests together and kind of narrowed things down, and you create an audience that way, where you have like a section based off of like books that are of interest to people in your audience, or movies, or websites, or tools, or whatever, right? And you stack all those interests together to like come up with the individuals. So that might be another audience you go ahead and target. And then you have a broad interest category where you go with like a massive audience of like 20 or 30 million people, and you advertise to those people. Now, I've mentioned this before. If you're in a small niche, like you only have maybe 2,000 customers in the whole wide world, well, then your cold traffic audience you probably only have one, right? Because you got to target those 2,000 people, and you got to just keep targeting them. You're not going to have some massive 20 million person audience when your product is very niche, right? But you can service the 2,000 people that you have and really provide a lot of great content and value to them. So if you have the opportunity for larger audiences, great. If not, you use what is applicable to your business. And then we're going to take that cold traffic and send them straight to a Facebook video ad. And it's just going to be pure content, like really good content, maybe funny, maybe helpful, whatever content. And our objective is going to be video views. So that's going to be our campaign objective, is to just get as many people watching this video, enjoying this video, maybe watching 50% of this video, and converting more and more people from cold traffic to warm traffic. All right, so then the next step of our funnel is going to be our warm traffic audience, right? And we might have like a 7-day retarget. So for 7 days, we're going to retarget people that have watched 50% or more of this Facebook video over here. And we're going to put awesome content in front of them. We're going to send them links to blog posts and Facebook videos and all sorts of really helpful, detailed content that our market would want to see, right? We want to help them out, show them we know what we're talking about. At the end of the day, we're trying to sell something expensive, right? So they need to know, like, and trust us and believe that we could deliver on what we're going to sell them, right? So we got to build up that rapport, that relationship. So for 7 days straight, we're just gonna be like, here, this is awesome, this is awesome, this is awesome. And also with that content, we might do a soft ask for them to register for a webinar, right? We might be like, at the end of our blog post, like, hey, we got a webinar, you can go ahead and sign up for it here. Or at the end of our video, we could reference our webinar. All right, moving on. Our next step here is the webinar sign up. So again, we're pushing people to sign up for a webinar because the webinar is what converts people into buyers. So we might take our warm traffic, again, viewers of 50% or more of our Facebook video, and this will be days 7 through 11. So for like a 4-day spread, after they've been through 7 days of this content, a 4-day spread, we're gonna be pushing the webinar sign up and be like, hey, you spent some time checking out our content. Here's our webinar. I think you'd really like it. It's really detailed. It goes into more detail of what the content you've already consumed, yada, yada. We also might be retargeting some of our readers. So maybe people that have read a blog post or read 3 blog posts, whatever standard we want to go ahead and set up, we could go ahead and do that. And so we could also start promoting our webinar sign up to people who have read our content after like a 4-day window, right? So same 4-day window, but these are people that have, taken the next step. They've read some content, they've watched more videos, etc. So they're really, they've seen several of our things, is my point. So trying to get them on the webinar. They sign up for the webinar. We got a lead event going on over there. And then we got our next advertising audience, our next audience for registrants. So people that registered for the webinar, we'll have a 2-day retarget for those that registered. And we're going to push them to that webinar replay, right? We want them to see the webinar because that's the thing that sells what we're trying to sell. So we want them to see the webinar. So we'll push that replay for 2 days. And then from days 2 to 5, for all of our registrants, we're going to push them to our offer over here. So we'll just go like straight to the sales page for our offer, try and get them to sign up. And then we also might have another audience right here of people that have stayed to the end of our webinar. So they saw our offer, and we might do a 3-day retarget for these people. And we're going to be pushing them to the sales page, right? And then hopefully they buy and, convert. So that's kind of our audience flow here. So just real quick, we got cold traffic, and then we retarget them for 7 days. And then for days 7 through 11, we're promoting our webinar sign-up form. However, for those that engage with this content over here, we're going to promote our webinar sign-up form, right? Because they've already consumed a couple pieces, so now we're promoting it. And then moving on, then we got people that register for the webinar. We want to show them the webinar replay, and then they got 2 days to watch that. And then if they watch it, or they get to days 2 through 5, we'll go ahead and start trying to sell them our offer, right? So there we go. Hopefully I didn't take too long on that, but I think you guys want to see this type of example. All right, another one, e-commerce store. I'll go a little quicker on this because hopefully you kind of understand the concept here. So again, cold traffic, we probably want to go with a lookalike customers, a narrow interest, a broad interest, right? Again, we're probably going to lead off with a Facebook video ad, pure content. You know, a lot of e-commerce stores, you know, show products, break down their products, give examples of their products, show it in use, show cool demonstration videos, all that type of stuff, right? So you can make a cool viral type video of your product being used, more than likely, right? Hopefully you got a cool product. Or maybe it's just some other piece of content or concept or topic for your market, right? It doesn't have to be product related. It could be market or audience related. So again, if you have like a camping store, something kind of viral, like 10 things only campers know about and don't want anybody to know, or something like that. You know, something with a catchy hook where you're left wondering, right? Open loop. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. You see this stuff all the time, clickbaity type content, right? So something like that. Anyway, moving on, then we have a 5-day retarget with people that have engaged with our video 50% or more. We're going to do dynamic product ads. And then the next step, of course, would then be warm traffic days 5 through 9. Again, viewers of 50% or more of Facebook video, we start promoting that coupon to them. We'll have another audience of browsers, so people that clicked on this dynamic product ad over here and they browsed your website. We'll move them to the browser audience, have a 4-day retarget. And again, these are for people that looked at a product but didn't buy. So we sending all these people into this coupon, trying to get them to opt in, join our list, and everything. And then if they opt in, they see this offer wall, top sellers, something like that, right? Products to go buy right now with your coupon that you just requested. All right, our next group of people, we have warm traffic again, days 9 through 15 retarget. We're going to be doing dynamic product ads again. Browser retarget over here, days 4 through 10. So people that clicked on here, but maybe didn't opt in for the coupon, we're just going to start showing them more ads again, okay? And then we have leads, of course, so people that grabbed our coupon, we're going to start promoting more products to them, right? So we basically have 3 different audiences right here: the warm traffic, days 9 through 15, the browser audience, which are these folks over here, days 4 through 10, and then the leads that opted in right here, we'll have a 6-day promoting the dynamic product ads. All right, moving over, and then basically everyone that has been through their quote-unquote cycle, so our warm traffic cycle, our browser cycle, our lead cycle, we'll have like a 30-day retarget where we're flashing different dynamic product ads and fun Facebook videos. So it's not, you know, a combination of interesting content and sales/promotional content, right? So, okay, so moving on. I'm going to cover this one in the next video because this is what I want to build the campaign about, what we're going to work on together to build the campaign. So I want to separate it out so that way we can focus on it. And I think I've covered a lot already in this video, so let's end it here and I'll see you in a second. All right, so I know in the last video I said that in this video we're going to discuss this campaign flowchart right here, but I want to save this for another section. I think that this whole campaign build out needs to be its own separate section, and instead right now I just want to do a quick recap with you. If you haven't already, before we're going live with your campaign and setting everything up, make sure that you've gone ahead and generated your content you need for your campaign. And again, I talked about this in lesson 6.4. So if you didn't watch it, or if you need a reminder, go ahead and rewatch section 6.4. And also, you're going to need to create your ad content as well. And again, I have a lesson on that in lesson 4.3. We talked about ads and content and hook and offer and all that type of stuff. So if you're kind of following along and doing the steps along with me, now is the time to make sure that you have all your content in place. So I recommend you go ahead and do that. Otherwise, in this next section here, we're going to set up this campaign step by step, and you're going to see everything there is to know about setting up a campaign in that next section.